Our lawns are looking greener every day. I've got this ornamental pear tree in the front yard, right? It's got these white flowers on there starting to bloom a little bit.
Yeah, and we've got some flowers in our front yard that are already starting to pop up. Let's take the good things and then make them even better. That's what spring is all about. And this morning, we've got all the inspiration you need to get growing.
It smells like spring in here.
Yeah.
Brad Canoyer is the general manager at Canoyer Garden Center.
Hey, Brad, it's really nice
Good to
to
see
meet
you.
you.
Thank you for having me here today.
Your
Thank you for
facility and
coming.
pavilion. We're going to talk about that in a second, but that place is beautiful. I wanted to get that out of the way. I've been there a couple times. But let's talk about this. Canoyer Garden, it really started as a small greenhouse. It was kind of a hobby, right, for your parents?
It did. Mom and Dad started this 30 years ago, and it started off a little 200 square foot lean-to onto the garage.
A lean-to?
Lean-to, little lean-to onto the garage, made out of glass from an Omaha building.
Wow.
And mainly just because they wanted to raise their own seeds, petunia seeds, marigold seeds, vegetable seeds, and it's expanded from 200 square feet to about 125,000 square feet in 3 locations.
Well, and part of that is the gift shop, and I know we've got some cool ideas here to get people thinking about, because Mother's Day is coming up, and of course we want to shop for our moms. But then we're also planting, as we started this conversation, right? We want to add to what we've already got happening. So what advice can you give our viewers that's specific to the point we're at right now in the season and the zone we're in right now?
Correct. We're right on the edge of planting. This is kind of where people say, well, is it too early to plant? Should I be planting? We're right at that edge. The forecast looks good going forward. So, you know, the next 2 weeks, people will really start diving into the planting. One of the biggest things to look at is your soils, your soil amendments, making sure that all the clay we have here in Omaha is amended with the right products. Ask the questions when you come to the garden center.
Yeah, because you've got the pros that can answer it. Because you don't want to buy something and plant it and then it doesn't thrive, and soil conditions certainly affect that.
Absolutely. We have a great staff at our garden center that can help with all the different soil amendments and talk about, you know, how to get rid of some of the clays and lighten up the soils and stuff like that.
A few minutes ago, we saw an exterior of the garden center, and right now we're looking at what's inside the garden center. So what do you have right now in terms of plants, trees, and other shrubs right now?
Full service garden center, as you said earlier, perennial shrub trees, annuals. These are a lot of Mother's Day hanging baskets.
Yes,
People come in and love these. We have
Look how healthy those look.
30-some varieties where they're all different combinations.
Yeah.
And so, you know, the annuals, obviously big deal for Mother's Day. We're a big Proven Winners. All this is a Proven Winners product. Proven Winners is a great supplier of ours. And we're one of the Gold Key members, so we get the new stuff first.
And that you love their stuff because of how healthy it is, how hardy it is. The colors are great.
And you have a couple over here. What are these?
We got some Verbena and some Nemesia over there. And just, if you can see the amount of vibrant color that the Proven Winner product brings out.
These are annuals?
These are all annuals.
What's the importance of having an on-site growing center? That's one of the things that distinguishes you at Kenoyer's?
That's correct. We have at all 3 of our locations, we have our own growing facilities of all of our own annuals. So if somebody walks in and says, you know, I need 10 of that same basket. If it's not in the retail, we just run out back to the other location out there, grab it, bring them in, and they can have all that, and we can stock easier and control the quality of our products.
And because they weren't put on a truck and shipped into our area from some other place with a totally different climate, they were grown here.
That's right. They're all grown right there on the site.
They're born here. Let's take a look at this. What is it? It's like
that is a unique shrimp plant. It's a tropical. It's a tropical. If you get a good close-up of that, if it's possible, they look like little shrimps.
They do kind of.
And it's a tropical that will, you know, handle the good summer sun, but needs to come inside in the fall before it gets down to 40.
Where are these typically grown? Where do they come
Florida.
from? In Florida.
Yep.
And then, did you tell us where am I putting this outside my home, or
it's
what kind
a
of
sun
conditions?
plant.
Sun. Full sun?
Loves the full sun.
Oh, great.
We'll do part sun, but loves full sun.
Yeah.
And like I said, just as long as it's in before it gets 40 degrees.
Well, this is great too, because you look at how hardy that trunk already is. You're not giving us something that's like pencil thin, you know, and then expecting us to figure out how to stake it and make sure that it's nice and healthy before we even buy it.
Right. Brad, you got a lot of good information in that head up there, and that, I guess you guys host these seminars too for people to come out. Talk about some of the seminars.
We have gotten big into the seminars, container gardening seminars, herbs. Kendall does a great herb class for us. Valerie does some shrub class. Michelle does tropicals. Just a wonderful staff that not only has knowledge, but has a huge amount of passion for what they do.
And cooking with Kendall?
Cooking with
What's
Kendall.
Kendall cook these days?
She does these herbs right here, and she'll take those things and talk about what you can put into them and where they go and what.
You know, Mike's Italian. He loves like some fresh herbs
You know,
on his
some
pizza.
basil,
Right.
whatever it is.
No, you're going to do that
Parsley.
up. And then we also mentioned your gift shop, 5,000 square feet there. What are we going to find this spring when we shop the
You
shop?
can find a little bit of everything in there. The flags up front here are a big seller for us. We have stuff for health of the plant, anything for the fertilizers. We have, you know, my sister-in-law Stephanie does a great job of buying for our garden center. Yeah, you can get a little bit of everything, whether it's a gift or for your own home to decorate it.
Right now, my lawn took a hard hit this winter. So if I come in, stop into the garden center, you have any products, any
for
tips that I can
lawns,
look
yeah,
at?
not
We
just
do.
flower
You
beds.
know, not only do we have the products, but we have the knowledge to tell you, you know, if it's what do you need to do? You need to aerate it. You need to, you know, thatch it, whatever. But fertilizations, weed control,
Hey,
stuff like that.
I was at the hair salon last week and they were talking about acidity in the soil and their hydrangeas and they
Yes.
were asking, so the stylist is asking these questions of the gal she's cutting her hair and she goes, I don't know anything about any of that. So that's why we say go to the pros, because at Kenoyers they can set you straight. That way your home looks the best it ever has this season. If you're going to put the work into it, if you're going to make the investments, get back what you intended. And let's show you where to find Kenoyers. If you haven't shopped there before, they are in Papillion. They're off of South 66th Street. And then online, it's CanoyerGardenCenter.com.
Yeah, Brad, part of my lawn problem is my dog.
He cannot
It's the
help with
dog.
that.
Dang
Blame
it.
everything on Miley.
Brad,
Thank you,
thanks a lot.
Brad.
Good. Thank
Happy
you guys.
spring.
Have a good spring.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you. We said spring's all about growing. You won't believe how Metropolitan